G'day Patreons, happy Sunday. In a moment I'm going to do a few pickups because thankfully Tesla has given us some news, which is great because that gives me views. Just want to share with you some Patreon only stories, plus also a bit of a tease as to what's coming up very soon on this channel and for me as a person. Ominous, foreboding. Anyway, it seems that Apple has once again put a bit of a torch under its Apple Car, which has been bantered around, rumored since like 2016, I reckon. Supposedly LG was going to be the maker behind it, designed by Apple, made by LG. No, LG the chemical, no, LG batteries. Oh my gosh, I'm mixing up my stuff. But nonetheless, this Apple Car could be here by 2024, and they've now appointed Apple Watch software executive Kevin Lynch. So things are changing over there. I think, would Apple do a good car? I have my doubts. The design language is a little bit funky sometimes, and the phones are, they're just a slab, they're a black glass slab, right? But the hardware, the computer hardware and other things, all a bit weird. And sure, we've seen some people dream up a concept as to what an Apple Car might look like, but I would hope it's a bit more not so weird like this. Anyway, watch out for it. The next one I want to share with you is carbon capture and storage has shown up in Iceland, and meet Orca. Meet Patreons. I've talked about this tech previously, and I did a big story on carbon capture use and storage back in October last year, which I'll link to up here if you haven't seen it. And this thing is actually working. And as I understand it, what it does is the fans, they push air through these cargo container-like thingies. They've got some filters in there that heat up and are wet, and because they're running about 100 degrees temperature, and they're wet, they're capturing water, H2O. They're capturing that CO2, and it gets pushed down into the ground through some magic and gets stored. It has promise, but only 4,000 megatons of CO2 per year will be captured by this, which they say can actually be put up by 40%, so about 5,600 metric tons of CO2. But in perspective, the whole world's emissions were 36 billion tons. So this is a fraction. It's a tiny fraction. A thing that I didn't speak to in last week's special report about the IPCC on climate change is that the modelling part of it actually includes carbon capture and storage, but that can look like a lot of different things, as you know. Putting stuff in ground like soil, keeping trees, not cutting down stuff, not burning stuff, so on and so forth. So again, we need to be, I think, looking at all solutions. It's not just going to be one solution, and that's never been truer. So we're going to get to true carbon net zero by 2050. This might be part of that solution, but I have my doubts. I really do. Anyway, check out the links below, have a read of them, and otherwise, I was going to wrap into the news, the pickups. So I'm unsure of the timing. So this is my own personal news announcement that's going to be huge, seriously big, and I can't say more. And you'll learn why very, very soon, probably in the next week or two, as to exactly what it is. So what I have to do is I'll be releasing some with... That's the cat. That was a cat on the piano. So what I have to do is simultaneously release on my channel as well as to you guys what this big announcement is. It's very sensitive, and I can't tell you any more than what I am right now, but nonetheless it's got implications for all Australians. So exciting times ahead. I've been working on this since late May, and a lot of work has gone into it, and I've got interviews lined up. Bit of a hint. I can't. I want to tell you. Anyway, let's get into the news and on with it. Exciting news, Tesla fans. The new Plaid Model S has beaten the Porsche Taycan lap time on the Nürburgring, completely unmodified directly from the factory, by 11 seconds to record a time of 7 minutes and 30.909 seconds. This makes it faster than the Audi R8 e-tron, which did it in 8 minutes and 9.09 seconds, but slower than the Volkswagen race-built, not street legal, IDR at 6 minutes and 5 seconds .336. Averaging a speed of 166.43 kilometers per hour, you can see how amazing the skill of this driver is, often doing seemingly tight hairpin corners at more than 100 kilometers per hour. That's the same speed that we go on our freeways. And here's this guy throwing it around like it's got endless grip. Wow. The Model S Plaid features dual electric motors delivering 700 kilowatts of power and can do 0 to 100 kilometers per hour in just 2.1 seconds. Elon Musk says that a track software update is probably a few weeks away. Yep, 2 weeks Elon, that long-standing joke. And that waypoints and other things will be added. And in a separate tweet, Elon suggested to would-be modders that adding aero surfaces, carbon brakes and track tyres, all things that can be done without Tesla being in the loop, might improve this time as well. Mod on Tesla, and can I make a suggestion? How about make it like an insane track only demonstration vehicle and make it the king or queen of the Nürburgring? The Porsche 919 Hybrid Evo that shattered previous records. If you get rid of that record and dethrone that hybrid model, so that's basically an electric petrol model by the way, it would demonstrate to the world that electric vehicles have truly arrived. As promised last week, I said we would follow up to see if Elon actually delivered full self-driving version 10 to early beta testers in America, and indeed, he did. Released Saturday evening Australian time, first impressions are flying in and it's looking clean with these animations, solid red lines, street layout and rock steady animation, kind of. This footage from a Tesla Model 3 looks a little bit different to this one from the Tesla Model X. I guess the environment here is the difference. And sure, this one's a bit jumpy and jaggedy, but nonetheless, it's an improvement. And a good video to actually watch is Rob Mowers from Tesla Daily, who describes it as a very good, confident, aggressive, and working at speed. This is amazing because this is software and hardware that is doing so with literally only cameras. Pure vision. There's no radar, there's no LiDAR, which, as you'll probably see on today's episode, can deface cars and complicate things, I think, unnecessarily. I'm going to say that, definitely. Check out how it handles a construction zone. Dual lane intersection that merges into one lane. However, there are still some weird behaviours such as unnecessary lane changes. Again, this is amazing stuff and shows how good Tesla is at autonomy. The only thing that remains to be seen is version 10.2, which Elon promised to release publicly in the US in several weeks' time.